Welcome to the Cenario Podcast, your guide to mental health and well-being. Each episode, we uncover practical tools, discuss expert insights, and explore how supplements can transform your mental health journey. Get ready to learn, grow, and thrive with us.
Welcome, everyone. We're diving deep into Parkinson's disease today. Really going to try to understand what's going on in the brain and body. We've got some interesting sources lined up, medical stuff, overviews of the symptoms, how it's treated, even some insights into natural supplements and stuff.
Yeah, sounds fascinating.
So by the end, you'll have a solid grasp of Parkinson's, and who knows, you might even walk away with some surprising takeaways.
What's interesting to me is how Parkinson's is often oversimplified. You know, people just think tremors, slow movement.
Right.
But it affects so much more than that. Like the source mentioned, sleep, mood, even your sense of smell. It really highlights how interconnected everything is in the body.
It absolutely does. While those motor symptoms are often the most noticeable, Parkinson's actually has this ripple effect throughout various bodily systems. It all boils down to the role of dopamine, that crucial neurotransmitter.
Right, dopamine. The source kept coming back to that. So help me break this down. What exactly is happening in the brain when dopamine levels start to drop? Okay, so picture a bustling city, right? Intricate communication networks everywhere. Dopamine, it's like the traffic signals, ensuring smooth flow between different areas. When those signals get disrupted, the city, or in this case, your brain, it can't function properly.
It's like a communication breakdown, leading to all these different symptoms. That makes sense why balance and coordination become difficult. Those signals just aren't getting through clearly.
Exactly. And it goes beyond just motor skills. Dopamine also plays a role in mood regulation, sleep cycles, even cognitive function. That helps explain the depression, anxiety, and sleep disturbances that often accompany Parkinson's.
It's all connected. The source also mentioned these things called Lewy bodies.
Yeah.
What are those and how do they fit into all of this?
So Lewy bodies are these abnormal clumps of protein that form inside brain cells. They're a hallmark of Parkinson's, and they're thought to contribute to the death of those dopamine-producing neurons. It's like this toxic buildup that disrupts the brain's delicate balance.
Okay, that makes sense. So if these Lewy bodies are causing so much trouble, is there anything that can be done to stop them?
Well, that's the million-dollar question. Researchers are really focusing on that. While we don't have a cure for Parkinson's yet, there are treatments available that can help manage the symptoms and potentially slow down disease progression. Medications like levodopa, they can boost dopamine levels, and then you've got deep brain stimulation, which uses implanted electrodes to help regulate brain activity. It's like giving the brain a little tune-up.
It can be pretty overwhelming to take all this in, especially for someone who's newly diagnosed or, a loved one who's worried. What advice would you give them?
First and foremost, remember there's hope. Early diagnosis and treatment can make a huge difference. And focus on building a strong support network, family, friends, healthcare professionals. That network is crucial for navigating this journey.
I love that. Focusing on hope and support. It's not just about the medical side of things, it's about the human connection.
Absolutely. It really is. And there are proactive steps you can take to improve your quality of life. Exercise, a healthy diet, stress management techniques, these can all be beneficial. It's about empowering yourself to actively manage the condition.
The source also mentioned natural supplements like CoQ10 and omega-3 fatty acids. Are these worth looking into?
While there's no magic bullet, some natural supplements may offer additional support for brain health. CoQ10, for example, supports the mitochondria, those tiny powerhouses in our cells. And omega-3s are known for their anti-inflammatory properties.
So it's about finding what works for you and adding those extra layers of support.
Exactly. But it's crucial to talk to your doctor before adding any supplements to your routine. They can interact with medications or have other effects. Personalized guidance is key.
So it sounds like managing Parkinson's involves a multifaceted approach, combining traditional treatments, lifestyle changes, and potential support from supplements.
It really does. It's about understanding your individual needs and working with healthcare professionals to develop a tailored plan.
This has been fascinating, exploring the intricacies of Parkinson's. We've covered dopamine's role, Lewy bodies, treatment options, and the importance of a holistic approach. But, and I think you'd agree, this is just the tip of the iceberg.
Oh, absolutely.
There's so much more to uncover about this complex condition.
Definitely. And that's exactly what we're going to do in the next part of our deep dive. We'll delve deeper into those non-motor symptoms we touched on, explore some cutting-edge research advancements, and equip you with even more knowledge and resources.
We'll be back soon to continue our exploration of Parkinson's disease.
Welcome back to our deep dive into Parkinson's disease. Before we jump into anything new, I want to circle back to something we briefly mentioned, that ripple effect Parkinson's has on the body.
Yeah, good point. It's not just the physical stuff either. It's like a full body experience,
Right, exactly.
The source pointed out some specific examples, like changes in speech, swallowing even. Those seem particularly challenging.
Yeah, those can be tough. You see, as the disease progresses, many people start to notice changes in their voice. It can become softer, maybe more monotone, or even slurred.
Wow. I bet that makes communication really difficult.
It can, yeah. And swallowing difficulties, which doctors call dysphagia, can also arise. It all comes back to how Parkinson's impacts the muscles involved in swallowing. It really emphasizes the need for comprehensive care.
Yeah.
You know.
You mentioned earlier that depression and anxiety are common. I'm curious, how do those emotional aspects tie into the whole picture of Parkinson's?
Well, it's important to remember, I think, the emotional toll of living with a chronic progressive condition. Feelings of sadness, worry, frustration, those are all natural reactions to a diagnosis like this.
I mean, yeah, it's a lot to process, both
Yeah.
physically and emotionally.
Absolutely. And beyond the emotional response, there's also that biological component we talked about. Remember dopamine's role in mood regulation? Well, when those levels are depleted, it can contribute to mood disorders.
So it's like a double whammy then, the emotional impact on top of the changes happening in the brain.
Yeah, you could say that.
The source also mentions sleep disturbances. And speaking from personal experience, I know those can be so disruptive. What kind of sleep problems are we talking about here, with Parkinson's specifically?
It's not just trouble falling asleep or staying asleep. Actually, many people with Parkinson's experience vivid dreams, even nightmares. Sometimes they even act out their dreams physically. Doctors call it REM sleep behavior disorder.
That sounds really unsettling.
It can be. And then on top of that, there's excessive daytime sleepiness, which, can make it so hard to do everyday things. It's like this constant battle against fatigue.
It really emphasizes the importance of early intervention, like you said before. The sooner these symptoms are addressed, the better the chances of managing them well.
Right. Exactly, yeah. Early diagnosis is key. It allows people to start treatment sooner, which could potentially delay the onset of those more severe symptoms. And it also gives them that valuable time to adjust to the diagnosis, build a strong support network, and even make some lifestyle changes that can, help them manage the disease better.
Makes sense. The source also mentions some non-medical approaches, like exercise, diet, and stress management. It seems like those could be really valuable tools to use alongside traditional treatments. What's the connection, I guess, between exercise and Parkinson's?
Well, there's more and more evidence suggesting that regular exercise can play a big role in managing symptoms and maybe even slowing down the progression of the disease. Physical activity can really help improve muscle strength, flexibility, balance, coordination.
So it's directly targeting a lot of the things that Parkinson's affects.
Right. But the benefits go beyond just the physical stuff. Exercise can also boost mood, reduce stress, and promote better sleep. It's a more holistic approach to well-being,
Yeah, I like that. What about diet? Are there specific foods that can help or hurt when it comes to managing Parkinson's?
There's no one-size-fits-all Parkinson's diet, but a balanced and nutritious eating plan is essential for everybody, especially those managing a chronic condition. Focus on whole, unprocessed foods, fruits, vegetables, lean proteins, whole grains, that kind of thing.
So basically nourishing your body with what it needs to thrive.
Yeah, pretty much. And antioxidants, those are really important too. They're found in colorful fruits and vegetables, and they help protect your cells from damage, which is thought to play a part in how Parkinson's develops.
So eat the rainbow.
Exactly.
We talked about the emotional side of Parkinson's earlier. How does stress management fit into all of this?
Well, stress can make Parkinson's symptoms worse. It can make tremors more noticeable, increase rigidity and slowness. Plus, it disrupts sleep and makes anxiety and depression worse. It's like adding fuel to the fire.
So finding ways to manage stress is really important then.
It's crucial. Incorporating stress-reducing techniques into your routine can make a world of difference. Things like mindfulness meditation, deep breathing exercises, yoga, spending time in nature, all those things help to calm your nervous system down and promote relaxation.
So it's about finding those tools that work for you and making them part of your life.
Exactly.
Before we move on, is there one key takeaway you want listeners to remember about these non-motor aspects of Parkinson's?
Yeah, I think the biggest takeaway is that Parkinson's is more than just a movement disorder. It affects the whole person physically, mentally, and emotionally.
Hmm.
So recognizing that, I think, allows for a more holistic approach to treatment and care.
It's about seeing the whole person, not just the disease. That's a good point. We've covered a lot of ground so far,
Yeah.
from the complexities of Parkinson's to its impact on daily life and the importance of a holistic approach. But I want to shift gears a bit and look ahead. What's the research looking like these days? Any promising breakthroughs on the horizon?
Oh, yeah. The research community is buzzing with activity. They're exploring tons of potential therapies and interventions. One area that's getting a lot of attention is gene therapy. Still early stages, but the potential is, wow, it's huge.
Gene therapy, huh? That sounds pretty cutting edge. What's the thinking behind it?
The idea is to modify genes to correct the underlying cellular dysfunction. You can think of it like rewiring the faulty circuitry in the brain. It's super complex, but the possibilities are really exciting.
It's like something out of science fiction. What about new medications? Anything promising being developed there?
Absolutely. Researchers are always investigating new compounds that target different parts of the disease process. Some of them focus on protecting those precious dopamine-producing neurons from further damage, while others are trying to enhance the effectiveness of existing medications.
That's good to hear. Beyond medications and gene therapy, are there any other, innovative approaches being explored?
Oh, tons. There's a growing interest in non-invasive brain stimulation techniques like transcranial magnetic stimulation, TMS for short, and focused ultrasound. These methods use targeted energy to modulate brain activity, and they might be able to help alleviate motor symptoms without needing surgery.
It's amazing to see so many different avenues being explored. It gives me a sense of hope for the future of Parkinson's treatment. But in the meantime, while we wait for all this cutting-edge research to, come to fruition, what can people do right now to manage their condition and improve their quality of life?
Besides the medications and therapies, there are a bunch of resources and support systems out there. Physical therapy can help people maintain their mobility, their strength, and their balance, while occupational therapy focuses on adapting everyday activities to make them easier and safer. And speech therapy can help with communication and swallowing challenges. But, and I think this is really important, connecting with support groups and online communities that can provide a sense of shared experience, understanding, and encouragement.
It's like a reminder that you don't have to go through this alone.
Exactly, yeah. And those online communities, they can expand that network even further, connecting people from all over the world who are, facing similar challenges.
It's amazing how technology can bridge those gaps and create that sense of belonging. As we wrap up this part of our deep dive into Parkinson's disease, what's the most important message you want our listeners to leave with?
I want people to know that, yeah, Parkinson's is a serious condition, but it doesn't have to define their lives. With the right tools and support, people with Parkinson's can live full and meaningful lives. It's about focusing on what you can control, like your attitude, your lifestyle choices, your support network, and just taking an active role in managing the condition.
That's a great message of hope and resilience. It's pretty amazing to think about all the potential breakthroughs we talked about, for Parkinson's. But while we wait for those to happen, what's the reality for people living with it right now? What can they do today to make a difference in their lives?
That's a really important question. I mean, it's easy to get caught up in all the exciting possibilities of the future. But there's a lot that can be done right now. And remember, managing Parkinson's goes beyond just medication. It's about taking an active role in your own well-being.
So where does someone even start with that? It can feel kind of overwhelming to know where to focus your energy.
Yeah, for sure. One of the most important things you can do is focus on lifestyle changes. We've talked about exercise, diet, stress management, but let's dig into those a bit more.
Okay, yeah, let's start with exercise. What types of activities are good for people with Parkinson's?
Well, activities that challenge your balance and coordination are key. Things like Tai Chi, yoga, or even dance. Those can help improve stability and reduce the risk of falls.
So it's not just about lifting weights or something. It's about incorporating movements that really improve those finer motor skills.
Exactly, yeah. And don't underestimate the power of just walking. A brisk walk a few times a week can do wonders for both your physical and mental health.
What about diet? We talked about a balanced and nutritious eating plan, but are there specific foods or nutrients that are especially good for people with Parkinson's?
There's There's growing interest in the role of antioxidants in protecting brain cells from damage. So things like colorful fruits and vegetables, berries, leafy greens, bell peppers, all that good stuff.
Eat the rainbow for brain health.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, and stress management, any practical tips there that people can use in their daily lives?
Mindfulness meditation is becoming really popular. It can help reduce stress and improve your overall well-being. It's all about training your mind to focus on the present moment, without judgment.
I can see how that could be helpful, but it also sounds kind of hard.
It does take practice, yeah. But even just a few minutes of mindful breathing each day can make a difference. And don't forget about being out in nature. Spending time outdoors, whether it's gardening, hiking, or just sitting in a park, it can be very calming.
Right. We've talked about lifestyle changes, but what about support systems? You mentioned support groups and online communities earlier. How important are those for people with Parkinson's?
Oh, they can be really valuable. Connecting with other people who get what you're going through can help you feel less alone. Support groups are a great way to share experiences, learn from each other, and find emotional support.
It's a reminder that you're not in this alone.
Yeah, exactly. And those online communities, they can make that network even bigger, connecting people from all over the world who are dealing with the same things.
It's amazing what technology can do. So as we wrap up this deep dive into Parkinson's, what's the most important message you want to leave our listeners with?
I want them to know that while Parkinson's is a serious condition, it doesn't have to control their whole lives. With the right support and tools, people with Parkinson's can live full, meaningful lives. It's about focusing on what you can control, your attitude, your lifestyle choices, your support network, and just being proactive about managing the condition.
That's a really great message. It's about finding that sense of agency, of empowerment, even when things are tough.
Absolutely. Yeah. And remember, knowledge is power. The more you know about Parkinson's, the better prepared you'll be to manage your own journey or to support a loved one who's been diagnosed.
This deep dive has been incredible. We've learned so much about Parkinson's, from the science behind it to how it impacts people's lives and the amazing research that's happening. We even talked about some things people can do to manage the condition in a proactive way. We hope you found it as informative and helpful as we have.
And if you're interested in learning more about natural supplements that can support neurological health, be sure to check out Cenario Shop. They have a quick survey that can help you find the best options for your specific needs.
That's great advice. Well, that brings us to the end of our deep dive into Parkinson's disease. We encourage you to keep learning, keep connecting with others, and keep advocating for yourself or your loved ones. Remember, there's always hope, and together we can make a real difference in the lives of those affected by this condition.
Thanks for tuning in to the Cenario podcast. Don't forget to visit Cenario.com for more expert tips, articles, and supplements designed to support your mental health. If you enjoyed this episode, remember to subscribe and share it with a friend. Until next time, take care of yourself.